He's a good guy, and we have a great understanding of each other. We're great friends. Now, he's a very complex, involved.
Many country divas sang about heartbreak, passion, and fire, but their real stories were even more dramatic. From broken marriages to surprising romances, these women lived and loved boldly. But who really had the wildest love story of them all? Join us as we count down 25 country music divas who slept with everyone in Nashville. Number 25, Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette, forever remembered as the First Lady of country music, was not only famous for her heartbreaking ballads, but also for her stormy personal life. Rising to fame with hits that spoke directly to women about love and pain, she became one of Nashville's biggest voices of the late 1960s and 70s. Behind her powerful songs, Tammy lived through 5 marriages that captured endless headlines. Her most famous relationship was with George Jones, a union full of both passion and chaos. The two created unforgettable duets, but their marriage was marked by alcohol struggles, dramatic fights, and constant makeups and breakups. After divorcing George, Tammy continued to seek love but faced more failed marriages along the way. What made her story wild was the way her life seemed to mirror her music, with heartbreak always chasing her. Despite the pain, Tammy kept her career strong, and her love life became part of her legend. Her journey showed the highs and lows of romance in Nashville, setting the stage for another diva whose fiery marriage shaped her story. Number 24, Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter who became a queen of country music, had a life story as colorful as her songs. Known for her strong personality and fearless lyrics, she wasn't afraid to sing about real issues faced by women. Her music often hinted at her fiery marriage to Oliver Doolittle Lynn, which lasted nearly 50 years. Doolittle was both a source of strength and frustration for Loretta. Their union was filled with ups and downs. He encouraged her career but also brought challenges with drinking and unfaithfulness. Still, Loretta never walked away, choosing instead to turn her trials into music that resonated with millions. The wild part of her love life was the way she balanced deep loyalty with constant conflict, a love that was messy yet enduring. Loretta stayed by Doolittle's side until his death in 1996. In her later years, she found peace as a grandmotherly figure in country music, admired for her resilience. Number 23, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, one of the most recognizable names in music, built a career that stretched far beyond Nashville. With her dazzling voice, songwriting brilliance, and larger-than-life personality, she became a global star. Yet her personal life often became the subject of endless speculation. Since 1966, Dolly has been married to Carl Dean, a man who has rarely stepped into the spotlight. While their marriage endured for decades, rumors constantly swirled about Dolly's love life. The couple's unusual choice to live largely out of the public eye fed stories of affairs and hidden romances, even though Dolly herself always brushed them aside. What made her relationship wild in Nashville's eyes was the mystery surrounding it. While other stars' marriages played out on stage or in tabloids, Dolly and Carl kept theirs private, sparking more curiosity than answers. Today, Dolly continues to shine, balancing philanthropy, business ventures, and music, while her marriage remains one of country music's most puzzling yet enduring partnerships. And where Dolly's love story carried mystery, the next diva's tale was full of very public heartbreak and a shocking split that rocked Nashville. Number 22, Reba McEntire. Reba McEntire, often called the Queen of Country, rose from small-town Oklahoma to become one of the most powerful women in Nashville. Her voice, stage presence, and business sense set her apart. In her personal life, Reba's story was shaped by her marriage to Narvel Blackstock, who became not only her husband, but also her manager. For decades, they seemed like one of the industry's most stable couples, building an empire together. But in 2015, their divorce stunned fans and the country music world. What made it wild was the suddenness and the fact that they had shared both business and love for so long. After the split, Reba surprised many by quickly reinventing herself, both personally and professionally. She continued touring, acting, and releasing music while embracing a fresh chapter of life. Later, she entered a new relationship with actor Rex Linn, showing the world that love can bloom again at any stage. Reba's journey proves that even heartbreak can be a turning point, making her one of the most resilient figures in country music. Number 21, Shania Twain. Shania Twain's love life has been one of the most surprising stories in Nashville and beyond. After skyrocketing to fame in the 1990s with hits that crossed over into pop, she seemed to have it all: beauty, success, and a happy marriage to producer Mutt Lange. Together, they created chart-topping records that defined a generation of country pop. But behind the scenes, her world collapsed when it was revealed that Mutt had been having an affair with Shania's close friend. The betrayal was devastating, and it led to one of the most shocking divorces in country music. What made Shania's story even wilder was what happened next. In an unexpected twist, she found love with Frederic Thiebaud, the ex-husband of the very friend involved in the affair. Their romance grew out of shared heartbreak, turning pain into a new beginning. Today, Shania is happily married to Frederic and continues to tour and record music, proving her strength and ability to turn personal tragedy into triumph. Her story is a perfect example of how the most unexpected turns in love can lead to the happiest endings. Number 20, Tanya Tucker. Tanya Tucker burst onto the country scene in the early 1970s as a teenager with a voice far older than her years. Her breakout hit, Delta Dawn, made her an instant star, and she quickly became known as one of country's boldest performers. But Tanya wasn't only known for her songs. Her personal life became just as famous. She lived through a series of romances that kept Nashville talking, most famously, her stormy relationship with Glenn Campbell. Their love affair was passionate, but filled with fights and drama, playing out in public as both stars struggled with fame and personal demons. Tanya also dated other well-known figures in the industry, cementing her reputation as one of Nashville's wildest divas. What set her apart was her refusal to hide her choices. She lived her life loudly, unapologetically, and with a fearless spirit that matched her music. Today, Tanya remains an admired legend who continues to perform and connect with fans, showing that even the wildest hearts can endure. And just as Tanya's bold romances shook Nashville, another diva carried her own struggles into the spotlight, proving that love and pain often go hand in hand. Number 19, Wynonna Judd. Wynonna Judd, daughter of Naomi Judd and one half of the iconic duo The Judds, became a star both as part of the family act and later as a solo powerhouse. Her voice, rich and soulful, carried her to the top of country charts. Yet her love life often made as many headlines as her music. Wynonna has been married multiple times, with her first 2 marriages ending in divorce. Her most talked about relationship came when she married her former bodyguard, D.R. Roach, in 2003. Their union ended in scandal after his arrest, leading Wynonna to file for divorce quickly. Despite heartbreak, she later found love again and married musician Cactus Moser in 2012. Not long after, tragedy struck when Cactus lost his leg in a motorcycle accident, but Wynonna stood by him, proving her strength and devotion. What made her relationships wild was the mix of public scandal, shocking twists, and enduring loyalty. Today, Wynonna continues to tour, carrying both her family's musical legacy and her own resilience into every performance. Number 18, Naomi Judd. Naomi Judd, the matriarch of the Judds, rose from humble beginnings to become one of Nashville's most respected figures. Alongside her daughter, Wynonna, she created a string of hits that made them country royalty. Behind her glittering career, Naomi's personal life was complex. She experienced early marriages that ended in heartbreak and raised Wynonna as a young single mother before later marrying Larry Strickland in 1989. That relationship lasted for decades, though it too was not free from challenges. What made Naomi's story wild was the way she carried the weight of family struggles, industry pressure, and her own search for stability and love. She balanced being a partner, a mother, and a star in the public eye, a task that came with both triumphs and pain. Naomi's marriage to Strickland became her anchor, and she stayed with him until her passing in 2022. Just as Naomi's story was filled with struggle and endurance, another country queen before her had lived through a fiery marriage that was as stormy as it was passionate. Number 17, Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline was one of the first women to become a true superstar in country music, known for her smooth voice and timeless hits that continue to inspire singers today. While her career soared, her marriage to Charlie Dick was far from easy. The two shared a bond that was fiery and often turbulent, with fights that sometimes turned physical. Despite the conflict, their connection was deep, and Patsy drew from her personal experiences to sing with unmatched emotion. Their marriage was one of passion and pain, a reflection of the intensity of Patsy's spirit. What made her love life wild was the way she and Charlie constantly clashed yet stayed together, defying the odds. Their story was messy but unforgettable, making it one of Nashville's most talked about romances of its time. Patsy's life ended tragically in a plane crash in 1963, cutting short both her career and her love story. Number 16, Trisha Yearwood. Trisha Yearwood rose to fame in the 1990s with her powerful voice and heartfelt songs that quickly earned her a place among the country elite. While her music made her famous, her personal life brought its own share of attention. She was first married to musician Chris Latham, a marriage that ended in divorce. Later, she wed bass player Robert Reynolds, but that union also came to an end. It was her third marriage, however, that turned into one of Nashville's most beloved love stories. In 2005, Trisha married Garth Brooks, her longtime friend and fellow superstar. Their relationship blossomed into one of the strongest in country music, admired for the way they support each other on and off stage. What made her romantic history wild was not scandal, but the journey, from failed marriages to finding lasting love with someone she had known for years. Today, Trisha and Garth remain deeply connected, often performing together while also balancing family life. Their love story stands out in Nashville as proof that sometimes the best relationships are built on years of friendship and shared dreams. Number 15, Maren Morris. Maren Morris became one of the brightest new voices in modern country music, blending traditional sounds with pop influences that helped her cross into mainstream success. Her personal life was just as closely followed as her career. Maren married fellow country singer Ryan Hurd in 2018, and together they became one of Nashville's most admired young couples. They often collaborated on music, sharing both their love story and their professional bond with fans. For a while, they seemed like a perfect match, raising their son and balancing two busy careers. But by 2023, the couple announced their separation, a split that caught fans by surprise. The wild factor in Maren's love life lies in how quickly things shifted, from a fairy tale romance and musical partnership to a very public ending. Despite the heartbreak, Maren has continued to pour her emotions into her music, showing resilience and strength. She now focuses on her career and raising her son while finding her own path forward. Her story is fresh, emotional, and filled with lessons about love in the spotlight. And while Maren's tale is still unfolding, another country star's marriage ended in heartbreak long before hers, and it played out in front of the entire world. Number 14, Kacey Musgraves. Kacey Musgraves made a name for herself with her bold lyrics, unique sound, and refusal to follow traditional country rules. She married singer-songwriter Rustin Kelly in 2017, and together they became known for their creative partnership. Fans admired how they blended their personal and professional lives, writing songs inspired by their connection. Their love story seemed solid, but by 2020, the couple decided to divorce. The breakup shocked many because their relationship had been celebrated as a union built on mutual artistry and deep respect. What made her romantic history wild was the way her marriage appeared so strong, only to end suddenly after just 3 years. Still, Kacey handled the separation with grace, channeling her feelings into her music. Her album, Star-Crossed, drew directly from the heartbreak, allowing fans to experience her healing process through song. Today, Kacey remains one of the country's most innovative voices, balancing her career with personal growth. She continues to embrace love and heartbreak as part of her artistry, showing how even painful endings can inspire beauty. Number 13, Carrie Underwood. Carrie Underwood rose to fame after winning American Idol in 2005 and quickly became one of the country's biggest stars. Known for her powerful voice and polished image, she seemed to have the perfect life when she married NHL player Mike Fisher in 2010. Their marriage was widely covered in the media, with fans watching their love story unfold. Together, they built a family, raising 2 sons while balancing demanding careers. But behind the glamorous appearances, Carrie faced struggles. She has spoken openly about experiencing multiple miscarriages, which placed emotional strain on their marriage. The couple weathered long stretches apart due to Mike's hockey career and Carrie's music commitments, leading to speculation about how they managed the distance. What made their love life wild was the intense spotlight and the personal challenges they endured while trying to keep their bond strong. Today, Carrie and Mike remain together, focused on family and faith while supporting each other's goals. And while Carrie's relationship drew strength from overcoming private struggles, another Divas romance was marked by explosive passion and a very public end. Number 12, Miranda Lambert. Miranda Lambert has been one of country music's most outspoken and fiery performers, and her love life has been just as eventful. She married fellow country star Blake Shelton in 2011, and their relationship became one of Nashville's most high-profile unions. For years, they were seen as the country's power couple, performing together and walking red carpets side by side. However, behind the scenes, the marriage was under strain. Rumors of infidelity and career competition surrounded them, and by 2015 they announced their divorce. The breakup shocked the country world, and fans chose sides in the very public split. What made Miranda's love life wild was how quickly she moved on. In 2019, she surprised everyone by marrying Brendan McLaughlin, a New York City police officer she had met only months earlier. Their whirlwind romance made headlines, and the unexpected pairing highlighted Miranda's unpredictable heart. Today, she balances her marriage with Brendan and her thriving music career, still known for her fearless personality and bold choices. Number 11, Faith Hill. Faith Hill became one of country music's most beloved voices in the 1990s, with a career that blended traditional country with pop success. In her personal life, she found love with fellow superstar Tim McGraw, and together they became the golden couple of Nashville. Married in 1996, their partnership became one of the strongest and most celebrated in the industry. They toured together, released duets, and built a family with 3 daughters. But their relationship was not without challenges. Tim's past struggles with addiction and the pressures of fame tested their marriage. Still, Faith stood by him, and together they worked through their difficulties. What made their relationship wild was the sheer intensity of living in the spotlight as the country's most famous couple, while dealing with very real struggles behind closed doors. Today, Faith and Tim remain happily married, often appearing on stage together and continuing to inspire fans with their enduring love. Their story shows that even in the unpredictable world of country music, true love can last. Number 10. LeAnn Womack. LeAnn Womack's voice carried her to the top of country music with heartfelt hits like I Hope You Dance, making her one of the most admired women in Nashville. But her love life, like her music, had highs and lows that everyone followed. She first married songwriter Jason Sellers, and they had a daughter before eventually parting ways. Later, she found love again with Frank Liddell, a respected Nashville producer, and together they built a life full of both music and family. The wild part of her story came from her willingness to let her personal life show in her music. Fans whispered about the emotions behind her ballads, and Nashville insiders always linked her heartbreaks to her songs. Even after her first marriage ended, she never lost the warmth that drew people to her. Today, she is still happily married to Frank, balancing her career with being a mother and grandmother. From her sweet resilience, we move to a woman whose fame invited rumors at every corner, Barbara Mandrell. Number 9. Barbara Mandrell. Barbara Mandrell shined as one of country music's biggest stars during the late 70s and 80s, with her television show and countless hits making her a household name. Behind the lights, though, her personal life often became a talking point. She married Ken Dudney in her early years, and despite the challenges that fame brought, they stayed together. Still, her success put her under constant scrutiny, and Nashville never stopped buzzing with whispers. The wild factor in Barbara's story wasn't about constant marriages or public fallouts, but about the way rumors clung to her fame. People speculated about how a young marriage could survive the demands of celebrity life, and many expected cracks to appear. Yet, she managed to keep her family intact while balancing fame, a rare feat in the industry. Today, Barbara has stepped away from the spotlight, choosing a quieter life focused on faith, family, and her long marriage. Number 8. Crystal Gayle. Crystal Gayle's silky voice and long, flowing hair made her stand out in country music from the start. She became a star in her own right, while carrying the legacy of being Loretta Lynn's younger sister. Her romantic life, unlike many others in Nashville, centered on her marriage to Bill Gatzimos, her high school sweetheart, whom she wed in 1971. The wild part of Crystal's story lies in how rare her steady marriage appeared in a city where unions often collapsed under fame's weight. Fans marveled that she could stay true to the same man through decades of touring, recording, and raising a family. Though challenges surely existed, she kept her private life away from headlines, which only made the mystery more intriguing. Today, she remains happily married, continuing to perform while enjoying her role as a mother and grandmother. But from this quiet loyalty, the story shifts again to Rosanne Cash, who lived through heartbreak and headlines in equal measure. Number 7. Rosanne Cash. Rosanne Cash, daughter of the legendary Johnny Cash, carved her own path in country music with thoughtful songs and literary depth. Yet her personal life often drew as much attention as her career. She married fellow musician Rodney Crowell in 1979, and the pair became one of Nashville's most creative couples. They had children together and worked closely on music, but the strain of fame and personal differences eventually pulled them apart, leading to a divorce in the early 1990s. The wild edge to Rosanne's love life came from being part of a high-profile union that Nashville couldn't stop talking about. Fans saw them as a perfect artistic match, and when it ended, the shock rippled through the industry. Her journey of heartbreak and renewal became fuel for her later work, which often carried a raw honesty about love and loss. Number 6. Emmylou Harris. Emmylou Harris is a legend in country music, admired not only for her angelic voice, but also for her striking beauty and grace. Her romantic history, however, was far from simple. She married Tom Slocum early in her career, but the marriage ended quickly. Later, she married producer Brian Ahern, with whom she shared a creative bond, but that too ended in divorce. Her third marriage to Paul Kennerly, another songwriter, also ended after a few years. Beyond her marriages, there were always whispers in Nashville linking her to other figures in the music scene, though she rarely confirmed anything publicly. The wild part of Emmylou's story comes from her string of relationships tied so closely to her music career. Nashville often blurred the lines between love and work, and her romantic life became another stage where passions played out. She never hid the fact that love and heartbreak shaped her songs, which made her fans feel the truth in her music. Today, Emmylou lives a quieter life, still performing and recording, but focusing more on family, philanthropy, and the music that continues to define her. She remains a symbol of grace, resilience, and the intertwining of art with life. Number 5. Jennifer Nettles. Jennifer Nettles rose to fame as the powerhouse voice of Sugarland, blending heartfelt storytelling with Southern charm. Her success on stage made her one of the most recognizable women in country music. Behind her bright smile, though, she also lived through relationships that fans followed closely. Jennifer first married Todd Van Sickle in 1988, but their marriage ended after nearly a decade. Her career was soaring during this time, making it difficult to keep a balance between fame and personal life. After some years on her own, she found happiness again with entrepreneur Justin Miller. Their wedding in 2011 was a private affair, and later they welcomed a son, giving Jennifer a new role as a mother while still performing. The wild part of her story lies in how she managed to shift from heartbreak to healing while staying in the public eye. Fans were fascinated by how she transformed sadness into strength, showing that love could begin again even after loss. From her sweet resilience, we move to a woman whose mystery keeps fans guessing, Ashley McBryde. Number 4. Ashley McBryde. Ashley McBryde has become one of Nashville's most respected artists, loved for her bold lyrics and honest storytelling. Her rise to fame has been steady, with songs that reflect real-life struggles and triumphs. But while her career shines in the spotlight, her personal life remains largely in the shadows. Unlike many of her peers, Ashley has kept her romantic history private. She has never been one to share details of past relationships, marriages, or rumored loves. This choice created its own form of intrigue in Nashville, where whispers often surround stars who don't open up. Fans and industry insiders wonder who has captured her heart, but Ashley never allows curiosity to take control of her narrative. The wild factor in Ashley's story isn't about multiple divorces or headline scandals, but about her refusal to let others define her by her relationships. Her mystery leaves room for speculation, but her focus remains on her songs, which connect deeply with those who listen. Number 3. Linda Ronstadt. Linda Ronstadt, though not tied exclusively to Nashville, became one of the greatest female voices of her generation. Her music crossed genres, from rock to country, and her influence touched the entire industry. With fame at such a high level, her personal life often took center stage. Linda was never married, but her relationships with famous men, including California Governor Jerry Brown and filmmaker George Lucas, became headline stories. Each romance fascinated the public, not only because of who she dated, but because of how unexpected the pairings seemed. At one point, she also adopted 2 children as a single mother, further setting her apart in an era where traditional family roles were expected. The wild factor in Linda's love story came from the way she defied convention. She never followed the script of settling down quietly. Instead, she embraced high-profile romances while maintaining her independence. Her confidence and choices inspired countless women, especially within the male-dominated music world. Today, Linda lives a quieter life after retiring due to health struggles. Her relationships remain part of her legendary story, reminding fans of a woman who loved boldly and lived authentically. But from her independent path, we move to Patty Loveless, who tied love closely with her career. Number 2, Patty Loveless. Patty Loveless made her mark with a voice that carried both strength and vulnerability, earning her a respected place in country music. While her professional career soared, her personal life also drew attention for the turns it took. Her first marriage to Terry Lovelace ended in divorce, leaving her at a crossroads both personally and professionally. But in time, she found lasting love with Emory Gordy Jr., a producer and songwriter who shared her passion for music. Their relationship became not just a marriage, but also a creative partnership. Together, they worked on projects that allowed Patty to shine even brighter on stage. The wild factor of her story lies in how closely her marriage tied into her career. Nashville often watched couples fall apart under pressure, but Patty and Emery proved that a union could thrive when built on shared purpose. Still, the shift from a broken first marriage to such a deep second bond fascinated fans. Today, Patty enjoys a quieter life with Emery by her side, occasionally appearing in the spotlight, but mostly focusing on home and family. Her story shows that even after heartbreak, true love can create harmony that lasts. Number 1. Lorrie Morgan. Lorrie Morgan's career began early as the daughter of country singer George Morgan, but she quickly made her own name with her heartfelt ballads and bold stage presence. Alongside her music, her personal life became one of the most talked about in Nashville. She married multiple times, with perhaps the most famous union being to fellow country singer Keith Whitley. Their love story was passionate but tragically short when Keith passed away in 1989. This loss marked Lorrie's life forever, and fans mourned with her. Afterward, she entered several other marriages, including with singer John Randall, singer Sammy Kershaw, and even brief unions that kept her name in constant headlines. Each new chapter brought both excitement and whispers across Nashville. The wild side of her relationships came from the sheer number of high-profile unions. While some were filled with promise, others ended in heartbreak or controversy, making her one of the most discussed divas in town. Today, Lorrie continues to perform and remains a cherished figure in country music. Her journey through love, both beautiful and turbulent, added layers to her songs, making her story one of resilience, passion, and the search for lasting happiness. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.